I handed the landlord a thick envelope with $3,000 in cash, and he just stared at me and asked where my credit score was. I did not even know what a credit score was. I thought you just paid the money and got the keys.
What? Wait, $3,000 in cash? You carried that around New York City in an envelope?
Yes, I felt like a bank robber. But honestly, I was just desperate. Finding an apartment here as a foreigner is like an extreme competitive sport. I had studied all the English vocabulary for renting a house, but none of it prepared me for the actual process.
It really is a sport. When I started looking for my first apartment, I saw a listing that said Cozy Studio. I was so excited. I went to look at it, and it was literally a closet. You could touch both walls if you stretched your arms out, and the rent was insane.
Oh, the word cozy in American real estate is a total trap. It just means extremely small. But back to my cash situation. I had saved up all this money from my part-time jobs because in my head, I thought I was just paying a security deposit in the first month of rent.
Which makes complete sense, but they always want so much paperwork here. They want your bank statements, your employment letter, and that mysterious credit score.
Exactly, and I did not have any US credit history. The landlord looked at my cash, sighed, and told me I needed a guarantor. I just nodded confidently, walked out of the building, and immediately took out my phone to search what a guarantor meant.
I had to do the exact same thing when I first arrived. I thought a guarantor was some kind of security guard for the building.
Right. It is just someone who promises to pay your rent if you run out of money, usually a parent or a relative living in the US. But since I did not have anyone here to do that, I ended up having to use a third-party guarantor company. It was a complete nightmare and cost me extra money.
You know, Paul, you just used the phrase saved up. I hear that a lot now, but I used to just say I keep my money. Is saved up more common for big things?
Yeah, if you are putting money aside for a specific goal like an apartment or a car, we almost always say save up or saved up. Keeping money sounds a little suspicious, like you are hiding it under your mattress.
Good to know. Hiding money under a mattress is exactly what carrying $3,000 in cash feels like anyway. So how did you finally get a place to live?
I ended up finding a sublease. Someone was leaving their room for 6 months, so I took over their lease. It was much easier because I just paid them directly and did not have to deal with the strict management company.
Sublease, that is a lifesaver. Let me ask you about something else, though. When I first started messaging people on rental websites, I would write, "Hello, I want to rent your house. How much is the money?" People rarely replied to me.
I can definitely see why. It sounds a little bit like a scam email. People are very careful on those rental websites. Instead of asking how much is the money, it is much more natural to say, what is the monthly rent? Or are utilities included?
Are utilities included? That means things like water and electricity, right?
Exactly. Water, gas, electricity, and sometimes internet. And instead of saying I want to rent your house, you could say, I am interested in the apartment. Is it still available?
Is it still available? That sounds way less aggressive than demanding to rent their house. I also used to say, I need a room for sleeping and washing. My American friend laughed so hard when I showed him my messages.
Oh man, that sounds like you are looking for a hospital room. You just need to say, I am looking for a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment. Or just a 1-bedroom. We usually drop the bathroom part unless we need something specific.
It is funny how the textbook English totally fails when you actually need a place to live. Speaking of that, I have to call a broker this afternoon about a new place in Brooklyn. Can we practice? I want to make sure I do not sound like a scammer again.
Let us do it. I will be the busy New York real estate broker. Ring, ring. Hello, Citywide Realty. This is Mark.
Hi, Mark. I am calling about the 1-bedroom apartment listed on 4th Avenue. Is it still available?
Yeah, it is still on the market. We have an open house tomorrow at 2 p.m. Can you make it?
Yes, I can come tomorrow. Could you tell me if utilities are included in the monthly rent?
Heat and hot water are included. You just pay for electricity and internet. Do you have your paperwork ready? We require a credit score of 700 and proof of income.
I do not have a U.S. credit score yet, but I have a guarantor ready and my employment letter. Would that work?
Yeah, a guarantor is fine as long as they make 80 times the rent. Bring all the documents tomorrow.
Perfect. I will see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Thank you, Mark.
And scene. Emily, that was flawless. You sounded like a true New Yorker.
I was sweating a little bit, honestly, but asking about the utilities and mentioning the guarantor made me feel a lot more in control of the conversation.
You absolutely nailed it. It is all about knowing the local vocabulary. Once you know what a guarantor and a sublease are, the whole process becomes a lot less scary. Just promise me you will not bring an envelope of cash to the open house tomorrow.
I promise. I will leave the bank robber tactics to you, Paul. Thanks for the help. I feel ready to tackle this Brooklyn apartment hunt now. I will let you know how it goes.